think we're going to go into the draft now. Yeah, we're going into the draft.
Are we live now?
Okay. Chewing up some good amount of time right now.
Okay.
Okay, Mundo is the first
Alright.
ban. Makes sense, he's quite a strong jungle right now.
Yeah, and the healing on his ultimate is quite strong.
Yeah,
And Swain, classic ban,
yeah.
been a busted champ for a while now.
Okay. Ornn, they're going for top a bit. Ornn is a safe top laner. They don't want to give them the easy way out. Zaya ban.
Zaya,
They don't want the
strong
lovers.
80 carry.
They don't want the lovers bot lane against them.
Graves
Great.
is the strongest jungler right now on this
Yeah,
patch. But leave him and Xin Zhao. So that's a pretty good takeaway.
yeah.
If they're not going to play it, since they're blue side, yeah.
Red does have to ban Kaisa now, otherwise probably could go in their hand. Ezreal? Zod?
Ezreal Ben, solid as well. Probably they'll pick a top tier jungler here. Or maybe the Kaisa.
Yeah.
I really think Xin Zhao is like definitely the second best. I think it's Graves then Xin Zhao for the jungle with the new priority on Rift Scuttler.
Yeah.
The
Oh!
Nami pick.
Nami first
That's
pick.
quite interesting.
Yeah.
I don't really like it, but we'll kind of see where they're gonna go with this.
Yeah, it seems like a weird first pick to hit the Nami first.
Yeah.
I could have understand if it was the last pick of the round, but not just first pick overall.
Exactly. Maybe they just don't want to show what they want to pick. Maybe they're trying to pick like a hyper carry in bottom lane, and they don't want to get like a bully matchup.
Shen is always a good option in the top. Can help out a lot for the team.
Yeah, and he provides a lot of map pressure. He's able to split push pretty
Yeah.
efficiently and join the team. Yeah. We'll have to see how blue team answers
Yeah.
the Shen pick.
Tristana.
Tristana. That's a staple.
Yeah.
Oh, getting spicy with the Kazakhs pick.
Yeah.
I like it, but they're gonna have to make it work because in a lot of team comps, Kazakhs tends to fall off if he doesn't snowball the early game.
Yeah. Oh,
Ooh.
singed. This is getting spicy right now.
Very spicy. I really like the Singe pick because it can really hard pressure the Shen, and the Shen can do very little to respond. So there's going to be a lot of pressure in the top side of the jungle. Hopefully, Kazakhs will play around that, and they'll be able to get some picks in the top side of the jungle, or just generally pressure it, and maybe take First Blood Turret, or also take Rift Herald, something like that.
Do you know if I am too good place Kaisa in any way?
Let's see. Uh,
Because that would be a reason why they didn't even consider going for the Kaisa. Since I think she's one of the stronger ADCs right now.
she is pretty strong. Yeah, I would say she's definitely one of the top tier 80 carries at the moment.
Especially after Zaya and Ezreal are gone.
Yeah.
Okay, now the Kaisa goes. Now the Kaisa goes.
Yeah.
And
Hmm.
I find it quite interesting what Sapphire is doing with the Diana. That leaves a bit of questioning open if that's a jungle pick or if it's a mid pick.
Yeah. I think Diana would be pretty weak in the jungle, but in the mid lane it might be nice. I mean, we see that he has TP selected for his Summoner spell right now,
Yeah.
so it's most likely a Diana mid. And then that way, late game, they'll have the option of doing a 1-3-1 comp, which if they can execute properly, should tear the enemy team apart.
Okay. And Casadin is the last ban for them. The Lulu makes sense. The Lulu could be quite strong with the Tristana together. I'm not sure. Alistar, okay. Well, Sapphire could still flex the Shen down to the support role if they choose to do that. That is
Yeah,
still a possibility.
that is a possibility.
But it looks like that. Okay, Braum. Makes sense.
Braum.
Quite secure. Can
Yeah.
keep Tristana safe for the first few levels, which he needs
Yeah.
most of the time.
We'll be able to peel the Singe, most likely.
Yeah. Oh, this
Maybe.
is getting interesting.
It'll be interesting to see if they lock this in.
If they lock this in, then I still feel like they have the wrong support for that.
Well, I think this is a really bad pick.
No, they're switching.
Varus?
Okay.
Oh, okay, nice.
Kate.
Yeah, so yeah, this is good. They'll have early pressure. The Nami Caitlyn lane is gonna have. It should have a lot of pressure if they're playing it properly in the bottom lane. And then, so they'll be looking for a first turret in the bottom lane. They just have to make sure to play around it with the Kazakh's early priority.
Yep.
And then hopefully Singed can just interrupt the Shen ulti if it ever comes out.
Yep. So now the jungle should be left open. Sejuani, okay. Tanky.
Sejuani. Okay. And then the Karthus pick. Okay, so it looks like our blue team is kind of opting into a style where they're going to be more pick oriented, and it's a little bit more of an early game team comp. They're really going to want to get the game rolling by taking the first turret and then just rotating their bot lane to the top lane. Whereas our red side has a comp that's going to scale extremely well. It's going to scale really well in team fighting because they have Sejuani and Braum. If you guys didn't know, that's a very strong combo for team fights. And then also, they do also have the option to split push for a 1-3-1. And then they also have the opportunity to dive whoever comes to match Diana in the side lane if Shen ultis the Diana. So I think overall, our red team has a few more options. There is also the win condition, though, for the blue team. If, Karthus just gets, really strong, he'll be able to nuke down the squishies, but even then, if he were to one-shot anyone, he would only probably one-shot the Tristana because Diana still builds a little bit tanky, and maybe take Diana to half HP. But yeah, we'll have to see. Early game is definitely in favor of the blue side. They'll have to make some plays to make sure that they win this game.
Yeah. So I'm setting up already everything.
Okay.
I don't know why their short is their Spence, but hey.
No.
Yeah, the delay is a bit on still, yay. But at
What
least
did you
everything
say?
else is... The delay is still a bit on for the spectator delay. I'm At least I
Yeah.
have everything done right now. I'm happy about that.
Mhm.
Uh, so I've seen Sapphire in the first match of the day. They played against Oak at that time.
Mhm.
Oak is kind of one of the weaker looking teams of the whole tournament right now. Even though it seemingly Twitch chat loves them already. From one match.
Team Sapphire. So did they won their last game?
Uh,
I just tuned in.
did they win the last one? No. They played against Gothboy Click the second match and lost. So unfortunately, no, they didn't win the second one. So right now they're sitting at 1-1.
Alrighty. Oh yeah, do you want to turn me down? I think I'm pretty high on the stream, or like my voice is pretty loud on the stream.
Going a bit down. So yeah.
You can, you can turn me down on Discord if you like.
Okay, I'm looking if I. So okay, if I can turn you down. Yeah, it's a bit weird with always changing people here. Have to manually put that up. So, a bit further.
But then the settings stay, so that's nice at least for next time.
Yep. So that's that. So we're getting into the match. We just have to wait a bit till it's done loading.
So it'll be interesting to see if produced by Smokestack is able to really push their early game lead, because they do have the early game team comp, and really snowball that lead. But if they are unable to snowball that lead, I do believe that it's going to be very unlikely that they're able to take this game. I think that Team Sapphire just straight up has the better both team fight comp and just late game macro comp. So we'll see what they do here.
Okay. Don't see anything really unusual with the runes right now, to be honest. Are they going for something early there? Oh, are they going for the brush? I think they're going 5-man for the brush.
Yep.
Oh, they're going for their strat. They did that in the first game as well.
Okay. The early invade with Braum, I like it.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
This could be bad for the Caitlyn.
Oh, that's death.
They got her. They got her. Taunt and just ended her. That was unfortunate.
Very nice. Nicely executed.
And they're probably going for the red now.
I think this is a good player. Enemy team shouldn't really be able to fight Braum level 1. And let's see if they... Ooh. Nice.
And force the flash for Nami.
Let's make sure we're synced. What time are you at?
128. 130 right now.
Okay. I'm like 2 seconds ahead.
Okay.
I'll just pause. Okay. 141?
Yep.
Okay. Alrighty. Okay, so this looks like a pretty standard start from both junglers. We'll have to see how they path here. Now that Stella Crab is priority, we see Kha'Zix moving to the river.
Yep.
And I think that's good on his part.
Okay, now that could be
I think
interesting down there.
They might be fighting.
Yeah.
for the scuttle.
Okay, and they just turn away again.
Yeah.
What was it?
Kha'Zix is able to secure the scuttle, and he's just gonna go and take the other one as well.
And the Singh just got him a bit of time there.
Yeah, and he just got level 3 as well.
Yeah.
I think Kubiko messed up his pathing a little bit. I think he should have just gone straight for the scuttle right after his buff.
So right now, the Shen is a bit in quite a pickle right now. Already down to half HP. And the Kha'Zix is invading the jungle of the Sejuani.
Yep. This is that early game matchup. The Kha'Zix
Yeah.
is gonna win 100% of the time early game.
Bot is getting pressured as well for Sapphire.
Yeah, both bot is getting
Oh, the Kha'Zix is now probably
getting
in
collapsed
problem.
on.
Yep. Yeah. Oh. The
Oh,
Kratos?
Kha'Zix no flash anymore. Let's see if they're able to finish it.
Oh,
Ooh,
that was
they're
a nice
unable to
jump.
finish the kill.
That was a nice jump from the Kha'Zix, and now the Diana is a bit has to get out of there now.
Yeah, well,
It's
she
good.
does. She turns a little bit.
Yeah.
But the thing is,
Yeah. Meanwhile, the Shen tried to initiate on the Singe. Didn't work out that well. And bot is pushing in quite hard.
so this is really good. Khan is definitely playing the matchup the way it should be. He got the early level advantage from getting both Scuttle Crabs, which I think was a mistake on Kubiko's pathing, to be honest. And he's still level 2 now to Kha'Zix's level 3. Junglers have to understand that in the new patch, the first Scuttle Crab, but then especially the second Scuttle Crab is definitely priority.
Yeah.
So for most champs, you just want to go to a buff and then secure a Scuttle Crab. If you're in a matchup where you're losing early game in terms of champions, then just start on what you think will be the opposite side and then get that Scuttle. So then at least you'll be able to get one of the two Scuttles and not be denied both. So Khan doing a great job here.
And now Kubiko wants to invade. Tried to contest a bit, but didn't really look like that.
It seems like Kubiko's getting a little bit desperate in this matchup. He's quite far behind.
Yep. Yeah, you can see that in the CS, definitely.
Mm-hmm. He's 4 camps behind right now.
Yeah.
Kha'Zix is twice his CS, but hopefully he'll get this crab.
I'm not so sure. They're moving in for him.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
they push him off that again.
Yeah. This is the thing about the new jungle, is so people think that, or Riot thought when they made the changes that, it'd be more jungler versus jungler interaction. But really, Scuttle Crab priority is dictated by your lane priority.
Yep.
Especially in competitive. So drafting all winning lanes or all lanes that have early pressure means that Kha'Zix is just going to be able to run over this Sejuani.
Yep. Level 3 to level 5, that's a lot.
Yeah.
But honestly, I'm a bit surprised that the Singe isn't ahead of the Shen, really.
He must not be prioritizing his CS.
Yeah.
He's probably just prioritizing pushing in the wave. Which is, I mean, which you can do that and CS at the same time.
Yep.
It just looks like he probably needs a bit more practice on it. And but once he gets more AP, he'll get every CS too, and more levels in his poison throw.
Okay, bottom, they're going for the Nami. And she gets out of there barely, thanks to the heal from I'm Too Good. And I'm Too Good trying to get the kill now, but the Karthus ult! And that's the Braum.
That was a beautiful play.
Yeah, that was beautifully worked out.
Very beautifully played. Produced by Smokestack. Smokestack. I do really like that, yeah.
Yeah.
And the fact that they were... Ooh.
Kazakh's going for the Sedge again. And Sedge can just watch as... Okay, the Kazakhs has to kind of get out of there now.
Yeah.
Well, the Nami's in there. This could help. Trish jumps. Okay, gets the kill. Gets the kill. But... And they don't have to pay anything for that one. That was a slight miscommunication between the team that they didn't back the Kazakhs up faster. Otherwise, I think that could have turned around really fast. Oh, and down bot is the turret already. Yeah,
8-minute turret.
And double the
8-minute
CS.
turret.
Double the CS the Kate.
This is a really good execution right now. They're really executing on their early game comp the way it needs to be.
Yep.
Oh, there was only the setback of Kazakhs dying on that invade there, which shouldn't really happen. He should have waited just a tad bit for his lanes to back him up there, and then he would have been fine, and they might have also gotten a kill. He got a little bit greedy.
Yep. He almost had the kill on his own. But it doesn't really look that bright right now for Sapphire. They are.
Yeah, we have a 2K gold lead at almost 9 minutes, which is a pretty significant gold lead, to say the least.
The Kazakhs invading again. Okay, they. Lucky for Sapphire, he ran over control ward. Okay, jumps out of the way. Otherwise,
I like the way that Sapphire is responding. Yeah, they're doing a good job.
Yeah, they're playing coordinated as a team. Unfortunately, it wasn't a good start for them.
Yeah.
Prompt getting
this is good.
quite hard.
It's important that they be able to give like the minimum. Like they will lose the early game. It's just inevitable by the champions they drafted. But if they just don't give up everything, then they'll be in a much better spot than if they just let their Sejuani get completely run over. So.
Okay, this could be the Caitlyn. Let's see. Okay. No. They're going for the Nami now. They switched up. Karthus ult doesn't really pick anything up, but that jump was okay. Unfortunately, there was an ult that they didn't communicate, and that was unfortunately the Kazakhs again. I think right now the snowball is going a bit down for them. Sinks runs in and just has to pay the price.
Oh.
But that. Whoa! But what is the most important rule in League of Legends? Never chase a singed. That's what Sapphire forgot. Never chase a singed. Oh.
So Caitlyn was able to free fire for the entirety of that team fight.
She just sat there and shot everything.
Sapphire, they almost. Oh my goodness, that was so unfortunate because they were originally won that skirmish, which is so good for them with the late game team comp. But now they just gave everything to this Caitlyn, and the game is about to be a lot harder. That was a very bad misstep by Sapphire there.
Yeah, well, it's always a rule in League of Legends. Never chase a singed.
I completely agree.
But this Scuttle Crab control is great.
Sedge has not gotten any Scuttle Crabs to my knowledge.
No, she hasn't.
Okay, so I do think that the correct play produced by Smokesack. So I mean, they do have two options. So they're doing, in my opinion, the secondary option, which is they're sending their bottom lane mid. But I think that makes their bottom lane a little bit more vulnerable to being flanked by Sejuani. I think that the best option for them is to send their Caitlyn Nami to the top and just siege down top turret. I think that's a pretty free turret. They're not going to be able to do much from that position because they're going to have to come from the front as opposed to maybe getting a good flank. Oh,
and they're going in, and Sedge knocks her down. The Caitlyn is frozen, but Sedge falls before they can actually take advantage of that, and the Braum goes as well. And now the Kate has another kill on her account. This will be really rough right now. The Kate is slowly spiraling out of control.
100%.
I mean, she was ahead already.
Yeah. They just committed too hard. They went for a desperation play. They didn't need to go for that play. The best thing that they can do right now is just sit tight and hopefully just try to wave clear and try to stall out this Caitlyn from taking all the turrets. But I think at this point, all of their tier 1 turrets are pretty much forfeit.
Yeah. And the Singe is slowly starting to pressure the Shen more. And that is the TP for Shen. He has luckily his ult still, but that TP shouldn't be thrown out there, I think. I mean, it saved the tower, but everything, they had to forfeit a Drake for that. Caitlyn has a shift done.
Yeah, I think the TP was a little bit of a waste because that turret's gonna go down. Because we know they're gonna just send Caitlyn up there and then just take the turret with Caitlyn.
As we were talking, she's walking up top.
There we are, yep. And there it is. This is how you execute on an early game comp, folks. Pick up the Caitlyn, take all of the turrets.
Yeah. And have a team that plays around you.
Exactly. You have to play around the bottom lane. But for the most part, it was more like... It was basically the... Kumiko got outpathed so hard that he was unable to pressure at all. So basically it was just a straight 2v2, and then Produced by Smokestack did a good job of winning it. But here we have Singe going in.
Singe going in, yeah. He's taking a good amount of damage. But I thought...
I don't like how this is.
Yeah, I was going to say, Sapphire is not going to forget that rule again, are they?
Oh my god.
They are, and they have to pay for that. Shen is in there as well. That's a bit risky, but okay, that taunt was good. That taunt brought it out, but it was still quite risky there. Karthus, I wouldn't want to be Karthus right there. It's a bit too much over there. Nice ult from the Sejuani. And just put the Karthus down there.
So Sapphire strikes back here. I like that. I like that they're showing signs of life. Taking a turret in return, their first turret of the game.
Yep. And they give it over to Tristana, who needs that desperately right now.
There's definitely still a chance for Sapphire to come back, because we knew they would be behind in the early game. It's just a question of how far behind.
Yep. Yeah, and the gold lead is slowing down a bit right now for Ben.
Well, I'm not sure if it's slowing down that much. I mean, they have a 5k gold lead at 15, and before it was 2k at 9. So right now the gold lead is pretty optimal for the early game comp. I'd say the time when it would even out, if they can keep this gold lead stagnant for Sapphire, they'll probably get online around 30 minutes, maybe 35 minutes. And then they'll be able to execute a really strong 1-3-1. But before then, it's gonna be quite the struggle. They're just gonna have to look for picks and just look for numbers advantages.
As you're saying that, Karthus has to keep his eye out. There are a lot of guys from Sapphire there. And the Caitlyn. I hope they're communicating with the Caitlyn right now. I hope it for her.
Yeah, I think Caitlyn's a little bit far up in that lane.
Yeah. As you can see, the Sedge and the Braum. Nope, that's okay. As the Sedge jumps over, the Braum didn't. Now Singe is jumping in there. This could turn the fight around.
Oh my goodness.
And the Braum dies for that one. And I think the Diana gets to suffer as well.
Now it's hard to say, was that planned? Or is it just that they're so far ahead that they made it work?
It looked a bit more like they made it work. But the Diana's still running. Okay. That's it. But still, Sapphire got some out of it.
This game is looking grim.
Yeah.
Produced by Smokestack has... Look at the Caitlyn's lead. I'm too good.
Yeah.
Has a full Infinity Edge static shiv with parts of her third Zeal item.
And has almost a Flame Horizon. And almost a Flame
Yeah.
Horizon as well.
And just the static shiv on the Tristana.
Yeah.
Yeah, Caitlyn is completely cresting through her mid game, which is supposed to be her weakest point in the game, because of just all the free gold that she got from the turrets.
And that one team fight, where she got
And
the
that
3
team
kills.
fight as well. Yeah, the triple kill as well, yeah.
And so Sapphire have to just sit down, play it calm and collectively, otherwise they're really forcing themselves.
At this point, it's looking pretty grim for Sapphire. The thing that they probably want to look for at this point in the game is definitely to play safe and to not give over any more kills. But they want to keep the Baron area warded, and basically they'll just have to see if they can get the Baron somehow or stall out produced by Smokestack from getting that Baron Nashor.
Yeah, Baron could be. And as well as the Baron, there's an Infernal Drake as next Drake up. That could be a point as well.
Mm-hmm. And 100%, if produced by Smokestack is able to get this Baron Nashor, I believe that the game is
Diana's
won.
gone.
I believe that.
No, almost. The Singe is just running in, throwing people around. That looked close for the Diana. That looked damn close. But the Triss didn't get off even easier there. They both took a lot.
It was very close.
I know it's not. Okay, then it was the image looked wrong. Okay, it's an Ocean Drake. It's fine for them as well, to be honest. Take down the Drake, move on. I think this could be, yeah.
But yeah, as I was saying earlier, if they are able to get the Baron Nashor on produced by Smokestack, the game is as good as over. I mean, even at this point in time, looks like they're going to be pushing with this huge wave of minions in the bot lane.
The Kate even tanks 2 tower shots. Doesn't care. The Sedge ult is a bit off there. They just Caitlyn free shooting, and Singe tries to flank from behind. This could cost him.
Oh goodness!
And the Triss jumps in and just dies.
Holy moly!
And the Braum went ahead to save her as well, but it wasn't enough.
Triss went a little bit too forward there to try and solidify that kill onto Singe. They did get the Singe, but Triss dying there, with there being very little wave clear on her team, means that they lose the inhibitor.
I mean, it doesn't look much by the kills, but honestly, they just out-macroed them the whole game through.
And I mean, they basically just won. They drafted winning lanes and snowballed the advantage.
Yeah.
It was pretty well executed, I have to say.
The Diana goes in, just dies after she took half the HP off the Kate, but Kate did it. Doesn't matter.
It looks like they're trying to go for the entry.
Honestly, why shouldn't they right now? They're so far ahead. Look, the Shen is already dropped to half. Sedge is lower than half at a quarter. And Kate is just standing there and shooting them down. Kratos' ult doesn't take anybody down, but what can they do to defend that right now? Looks like this is game already. So we're continuing kind of the style on this side of the stream with the brutal matches. Nice ult there from Nami, and just done. GG. I'm
GG,
too good.
And there we have it.
I'm too good did what his name said.
Looks like the early game from produced by Smokestack was victorious. They did a really good job of capitalizing capitalizing on that Caitlyn pick and really using it to move around the map, and then also looking for picks with the Kha'Zix and the Singe. And then finishing off the kills with the Karthus. It was very well played, very well executed, good communication on the blue side. The red side definitely needed a little bit of work on knowing how to make sure they didn't fall too far behind. But also, I really think that their jungler, Kubiko, made a fatal pathing mistake in the early game. He needed to secure at least one scuttle crab to not fall as far behind as he did,
Yeah.
because from that, Faikon was able to open up the game with good invades. So
Yeah.
and at that point he was just too weak to even help his bottom lane at all. Because he would have had to gank the bottom lane. That's how you nullify the Caitlyn lane, is if you gank it, because it's always pushed up. But he was unable to do that, and as a result, Sapphire lost.
You can even see it on the gold deficit alone from the ADC that the Caitlyn is sitting on 12,700 and the Triss is sitting at 6,800 there.
Jesus, almost twice as much gold.
Yeah.
That's disgusting. Holy moly.
And the damage graph doesn't look much better, to be honest. Oh. I mean, the Karth has finished a few kills, but still 21k damage to champions from the Caitlyn. That's... And we just played like 21 minutes. So that damage per minute is insane.
Most definitely.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, there was a level 1 invade that took down the Caitlyn. They had the advantage there.
They did. But even with that kill advantage, Tristana didn't get to back at level 1 to get a buy to make it so she cashed in that advantage. So it didn't really matter in the lane phase. And then Braum, since he's a melee support, is just going to lose versus the Nami. So they just had just a winning lane for both the AD carry and the support, and they're just able to bully them out. I mean, if you have a Nami, she's basically the win lane support.
Yeah.
And so Braum offers a lot of utility, but yeah, he just definitely couldn't hold up to it. And then I think that going Unsealed Spellbook on Braum was probably a mistake. He probably just wanted to opt in fully to the Resolve tree and pick up Guardian. That way he could just have access to more sustain, being more opted into the Resolve tree.
Yeah, he could have done that, but I had a feeling sometimes for the Braum, he just had to go in, try to protect somebody, and then they just left him there to die. That looked like in some fights that he just was there, bail somebody out, and take the punishment for that mistake from somebody else.
Yeah. I think overall the communication needs to be a little better. Also, I don't really agree with the Diana pick. Like, that was a really risky pick, and they just showed that it doesn't really work. I think if they're going to pick an assassin, they should probably pick a Fizz or a Cassidon maybe. Diana just isn't, like, in the best spot. There are a few Diana mains who are very, very good on her, but I don't know if Excel really did that much for his team. I think the pick didn't offer much. Like, you just want to pick things that are a little bit stronger in the early game to help out your later scaling jungler. If you have a Sedge, she's later scaling, so pick something that will give her some space, like maybe a Talia in the mid lane, something that will get some priority, which will stop the Kha'Zix from invading. Or if the Kha'Zix does invade, you just collapse and kill him. So
yeah,
I think that I just think they didn't respect the early game of produced by Smokestack.
Yeah, that they didn't do. That was one of the things they never did. But but the tradition of Storm games goes further here on the second stream right now.